2011 and became only the third rookie in NFL history to make 6 field goals in a game. In the game on BKS1 Radio, would like to welcome Dallas Cowboys kicker Dan Bailey to the show.
Dan?
Hey guys, yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. Welcome to the In the Game Sports Show. Thanks for calling in. How's things going, man? First and foremost, we like to know that everybody's fine and how they doing. How's everything going?
Yeah, everything's going good. You know, just finishing up camp down here and getting ready to play tomorrow night. So everything's good.
Dan, let me ask you a question. This is O-Dog, the Stat Tech. With all of those awards, you came out, you won the nation's top kicker, Big 12 Conference Special Teams Player of the Year. How is it that you didn't get drafted?
You know, that's a good question. I think, you know, a lot of times just different teams are looking for, you know, different things at different years. So, I mean, you know, last year we didn't have too many kickers go in the draft, and then, you know, this year obviously I feel like, if I remember correctly, there was quite a few that went this year. So I think it's really more of just a timing thing and you know, what teams are looking for and whether they're wanting to go young or stick with the veteran or stuff or anything like that.
Because I'm looking at your numbers, and you had a very productive year last year. You 86% conversion rate. You were 11 for 11 from 30 to 39. Now, I got to make you feel comfortable before I ask you this question, because you have 3 Cowboys fans on the panel. But I want to get right to this because I know some listeners want to know. Let's talk a little bit about the Cardinal game last year. And just to remind our listeners, that was the December 4th game against the Cardinals, tied at 13, 6 seconds left on the clock. You're setting up to kick the ball. As you follow through, Coach Jason Garrett calls a timeout. What happened with that?
You know, just like I said last year, it's just one of those situations that, you know, it's just kind of a perfect storm of events happened, and, you know, the guys, us on the field, we kind of knew we had time, and on the sideline, they weren't sure if we had enough time to get the kickoff, and so, you know, it's just one of those things. It's just kind of a bad situation, but, you know, regardless, I said it last year, and I'll say it again, you know, I needed to make that kick, regardless of who called the timeout coming out the second time, so, you know, definitely a learning situation for myself, and obviously, you know, I guess anybody across the league, any kickers can kind of learn from that, I guess, if they take a look at it and, you know, just use that going forward. Well,
that leads me to my next question. Give us a little bit of insight of what you go through when a coach, whether it's yours or the opponent, or the opposition coach, calls a timeout, because it seems like it's tough. Or let me ask you this: is it tougher to make that second kick after you give everything you have on the first kick? And how do you get yourself prepared to follow up with that same enthusiasm, same strength? Tell us what you go through.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really just doing that. You got to just tell yourself, all right, well, you know, regardless of what happened on the last one, you got to go out there and make the second one. So, you know, really, honestly, you know, the whole icing the kicker thing, it's really not a huge issue. I mean, most of the time you're going out there and, you know what the situation is. You know whether the other team has a timeout or not, and whether they're going to possibly use it in that situation or not. So, you know, the more you can prepare yourself with, you know, the situation and what's actually going on, I think the better off you are. Now, you know, whether or not they use that timeout is obviously their call, but, you know, it's just one of those things. You just got to try to prepare yourself as much as you can. If it happens, you know, great. If not, you know, that's great too, I guess.
Well, I mean, clearly you recovered, because the next week you came back against the Giants and you hit the game-winning kick after Coughlin called the timeout, trying to ice you, and you came back and you hit that next kick again, which, by the way, brought me a lot of joy, I have to say. As a Cowboys fan, anytime the Cowboys beat the Giants, it's a good day and a good week for Cowboys fans. I have to tell you that.
In the game. We're talking with Dan Bailey. We are on BKS1Radio.com. We are in the game. All right, let's fast forward to this year right now. the mindset of the Cowboys. Dallas always has big expectations on you. The NFL looks at you as a great franchise, plenty of fans. How's the team feeling right now going into the season? You got unfortunately, the scheduling this year I think was kind of wacky. I'm a Steelers fan, and there's a week in which the Steelers play the Ravens, I think, in close proximity. You guys are opening against the Giants, which I think should be a little bit later. But what's the mindset of the team going into the NFL season this year?
Well, I mean, overall we're excited about this season. Obviously, we didn't really end it the way we wanted to last year. We ended with the Giants last year and we kind of missed out on the playoffs there. So that's been a huge motivating factor for us this offseason and throughout the spring and summer, and really just, focusing on, kind of getting back on track and really, working hard in the weight room and everywhere else. Everybody just really kind of trying to get on the same page and use last season as motivation going into this year. So, overall, I think everybody's really excited. Everybody's really focused. Everybody's been working really hard. So, to be honest with you, it's a really good feeling around the locker room. I think we got something special going on. So, I guess we'll find out as the season goes along.
Now, Jerry Jones made a statement that went directly to the Giants, which me personally and most fans, we love that stuff. But do you guys look at that as motivation? I mean, when he gave it to the pep rally, does that get into the spirit of the Cowboys? So now you know when the Giants are coming, because let's be fair, the Giants right now, the world champs, we're here in the tri-state area, you hear it all the time. There's not that much respect for the Cowboys. A lot of Giant fans feel like they got your number, so forth, so on. So what significance did Jerry saying that you guys are going to need to beat the hell out of the Giants, what significance did that serve for the team?
I think overall, it's really kind of a non-issue. I mean, really anything that's said, outside of, kind of the locker room is kind of just, hearsay. It's good to get the crowd pumped up and the fans pumped up, but really, everybody in the locker room, we've got our jobs to do, and we've got our positions to focus on. So, we have different things that motivate us, but it's always good to get the crowd pumped up and get the fans behind you and kind of get everybody excited about the season. But I think it's probably a little more for the fans than it is for us.
And I put the ball on the 10-yard line. They give you a little free time, and I said, I'll kick this right through the upright. Man, the ball, it didn't even get off the ground. It just squibbed to the 5-yard line. So it is amazing how you kickers do your job. And I never underestimate any kicker in any situation, because it is something that we as fans act like we can do like it's nothing from the chair that we're watching the game in. But the reality is it's a tremendous, tremendous job, and it takes a lot of skill.
And then, does it matter to you as a kicker which hash you're kicking from? Do you have a preference? Do you say, hey, I prefer to kick from the right, I'm more comfortable from the left? Because I look at it and sometimes I say, oh man, why didn't they center the ball? Does it matter to you?
To be honest, it's really not a huge issue, especially in the NFL. The hashes are, right down the goalpost, the whole goal field. Whereas college, they're outside the goalpost, so you kind of have a little bit more of a extreme angles, the closer you get in. But, it's really not that big a deal. Left, right, middle, it's not really a huge factor when you're taking field goals.
Well, Dan, I just want to say this, and again, this is a stat tech, old dog, the stat tech. I, as a fan, even when you miss a kick, I don't get that upset, because let's say it's a game-winning kick and you miss. My position as a fan is to say, hey, there were plays that could have been made by the rest of the team, whether it's offense, defense, and special teams, that should have been made so that you're not in a position that you have to win the game on a last-second field goal. So that's my position. So I just want to say, as a fan, go out there, do your best, have a great season, and don't feel any pressure. And I mean, with extra points, you got to make those, man. You got to make all the extra points. But, do your job, and we wish you the best from BKS1.
And this is the ghost. I'm not putting any extra pressure on you, but I drafted you in my fantasy football league, so don't miss any, please.
Listen, Dan, have a great season and try to stay injury free out there. I know that's almost impossible, but keep your health and good luck to you the rest of the season. All right.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys. Take it easy.
We appreciate you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Good guy, Dan Bailey of the Dallas Cowboys.
Excellent.
Tremendous.
This is Dan Bailey from the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm in the game on BKS1 Radio.
In the game.